Busquets a bit deeper, Rakitic and Rafinha. I love that. And the front three with Messi obviously coming behind Suarez at time to try and feed in the ball, and Neymar, who has been in magnificent form. Yes, hasn't got the scoring numbers of the other two, but man, has he been on fire, creating problems. And for Valencia, it's the same old story. Who do you mark? You mark Neymar, Messi pops up. You mark Messi. Basically, you've got to mark all three and try and dominate the midfield, and it's a lot to hope for.
Oro. Salvador Gonzalez, and you see Luis Enrique staying in the tunnel to say his hellos before stepping out onto the pitch, showing how much respect he has for his opposing manager here today. Of course, those two former competitors back in their playing days. Here's a look at the starting lineup for Valencia. Diego Alves, absolutely spectacular, except against Barcelona. Well, maybe spectacular and unlucky. Here's the three in the midfield. Enzo Perez wearing the captain's armband. And up front, the Barca boy Munir. There is no clause in his loan contract preventing him from playing. He'll be out there today. We are underway. Barcelona in the Blaugrana, the blue and red, moving from the left to the right, the white and black with the bats on their chest of Valencia defending the goal to the right. And you see a 3-4-3, but in many ways it tends to morph. Piqué having a lot more responsibilities in that three-back. Busquets does not drop back to help. See Rakitic along with Iniesta flanking Busquets to a point. Rafinha and Neymar responsible for the flanks, and Messi, well, he just takes care of business.
When you're that good, you can. Yes, 3-4-3, much more natural for Barcelona since the loss away at PSG. That's what they've been playing, and just somehow it fits. They're more comfortable. Umtiti at the back is a necessity. The figures with him are amazing. And with him and without him, they've been struggling. So clearly he's an important player in this team. He's got pace, he's got height, and along with Mascherano and Piqué, I think that makes him a lot more solid in defense.
Well, flipped forward by Orellana, the ex-Celta wing, but shepherded away. At least here in the early going, it does appear as though Luis Enrique, with his soda in hand, has pushed Rakitic up a little higher than normal. Take a look at our players to watch. Munir and Neymar. Of course, Munir coming up through the pipeline as Neymar kind of forced him to the side. Players to watch brought to you by the new Just for Men Control GX, for shampoo that gradually reduces gray.
So two players to look for, both from Barcelona. Even though one's playing for Valencia. I don't get that. Why would you, as Barcelona, let Munir play against you? What if he scores the winner? What if he breaks one of his teammates' legs by mistake? There's too many things that can go wrong. Why do that? And we saw earlier, I was watching an attack here.
Mangala lets it pop, controlling Neymar, spins, turns, swivels to find Messi, forces his way back to the inside.
Just saying earlier, Atletico.
Oh, what a ball by Iniesta. Trying to drop it, Suarez, and he just misses Neymar on the run.
Atletico Madrid earlier today, they didn't allow Kranevitter to play against him or Vieto. Makes sense. Why would you give Sevilla that advantage? That's why I don't understand why Barca, what a good ball this is, why Barca didn't stop Munir from playing against them.
Orellana laying back, leaving that onside. By the way, reason for players to watch as well for Neymar. In this formation, he is responsible for a lot of the defensive work down that left side, but it hasn't slowed him down offensively. However, suffering from an adductor pull, a groin pull in practice this week, it was a question whether he'd even play today. Neymar with the in-swinger, slips around the top of the six, flying back to try and defend Munir. Nice little chip. Rafinha with the bump, but no problem for Cancela, and the right back turned wing charging up the left side before it's poked away by Mascherano.
Having a look here again at that ball as it comes across. What a good ball into the box. Just needed someone to get ahead there. Neymar very, very close.
Jose Luis Gaya, left-footed, had to turn his body around to clear that.
I was going to say, of course, the problem with that is you're going to get that all day long if you're Valencia. Little dangerous balls in there, and players like Neymar, Messi, Suarez bombing in. It's going to be a tough afternoon for Valencia. Only one win in 10 away, Phil. So I don't think their fans or Voro here are holding out for too much at the Camp Nou.
Mangala very busy here. Suarez wants to get it back in play quickly. Mascherano. Way back, I think it was game 3 against Leganés. They tried this formation first. And even though it ended in a 5-1 win, it was not pretty. Iniesta inside, but getting more and more comfortable as the season progresses, and credit to Luis Enrique for having confidence in the system and the players. Cancelo charging up the middle. He's onside, and he's got help in the middle, but Mascherano there again to deny. Orellana begging, but it goes unrewarded.
Cancelo, lift your head. Look who's in the middle. That was a straightforward pass. Have a look here. On his own, just square the ball. Now square it. Now square it. At some point, square it. Wow, what a chance. He loses out the opportunity, but as you say, well done, Mascherano.
And credit as well to Voro, obviously using Cancelo as one of the keys. The Benfica youth, now 22. Speed kills. Trying to flip it back. Munir into the area for Mangala. Cleared only as far as Orellana. And his adrenaline got the better of him. Carlos Unsue, former goalkeeper for Barcelona, had been an assistant earlier, brought back by Luis Enrique.
That's the brains of the team, Phil. All the goalkeepers, come on. But
Luis Enrique would say they're not even footballers.
Talk of him getting the job, perhaps. Yeah, if he knows the players are happy with him and comfortable, why not?
Goalkeeper as a manager, though?
A rarity, isn't it true?
Headed away by Ike, settled in the midfield by Dani Parejo. Parejo bumped off the ball, the former Madrid youth player. Good look at Iniesta, the captain tonight. 7th minute approaches. Both teams with golden opportunities without actually getting the shot on goal. Orellana. Perez. Parejo. And again, using the hashtag #BeInLaLiga, Usman asks who would be the best suited to step in after Luis Enrique. Ball chipped across, headed back down into the midsection. It does appear to hit an arm, but bang bang play and body, or the hands close to the body. Well, who would you say would be the best suited? Obviously, Juan Carlos Unsue, very familiar with the Luis Enrique system.
Yep, he would be one option. Valverde, as a former Barca man and doing extremely well, would be another. Ronald Koeman, perhaps, as an ex-player, doing a very good job at Everton after doing a good job at Southampton. One person it won't be, according to the newspaper report, Sampaoli. I think a lot of fans would have liked him, Phil, but evidently the rumor from Barcelona is he's not a Barcelona man, so it seems he's not in the shortlist.
Some other ex-Barcelona players also would be kind of interesting, although as we take a look at that, maybe a little more fortunate. Ball up for Suarez. Mangala with the block. Down goes Alves to deny, and out for the corner kick. Good eye barking at the referee.
Yeah, good chance. How did the ball get to him so easy? Just brought it down in the box. I don't know if they were trying to play offside. We didn't get to see it in real time, but very close there for Suarez. Good save from the keeper.
Two other names would be interesting to see as Iniesta crosses this one in. Volleyed by Mascherano. 350-plus games. He's still looking for goal number 1.
Well, if he's going to shoot from that far out and that badly, he's going to wait a lot longer. It's a very difficult one to hit there with players running onto you.
Here again, we take a look.
Quick ball. They're saying perhaps he was offside. Keeper, good skills, not quite sure.
Maybe glancing off the arm to control, but great play by Mangala. Thought to be excess baggage at Manchester City. He's been an everyday starter for Valencia. Frank de Boer, in my mind. So again, another Barcelona player who comes through the Ajax system, but tarnished perhaps by his stay at Inter.
Yeah.
Michael Laudrup.
I think de Boer too tarnished after Inter. Valverde seems to be, it's either Valverde or Ansue, according to those in the know.
One thing with Valverde, though, is it's a different style. And even though he came up through Barcelona, or Barcelona in his past, it wasn't exactly the free-flowing Barcelona that Pep Guardiola reinitiated. So maybe, just maybe, it is Ansue. A lot of the players were asked this past week what they thought. Of course, they all came out as, what are you supposed to say? He's your assistant coach. No, we think he'd be awful.
Yeah, he's no good. He's clueless. I think there's one player you want to ask in particular, Phil.
And who might that be?
Yeah, Messi. Who do you want? Because ultimately that's going to be the decision. And maybe already has been. Maybe he's already signed, signing contracts. He's already sort of put his voice forward as to who he would like as the manager.
If you believe some of the reports, there are a few names there for players he would like Barcelona to try and get in the offseason. So why not try and get a manager that Messi likes? Something it's a little privilege, but at the same point, if he is the heart and soul of the team. Garay chipping it forward, and Munir made the move a little too early.
I'm still looking at Munir playing against Barcelona. What if he gives away a penalty in the last minute, Phil? And Barcelona win 1-0. I mean, surely it puts you as a player in a difficult position where Valencia fans say, well, come on, that's your parent club. No wonder you're giving away a penalty. Whatever you do, you come out badly in this situation. I feel for Munir here, and I just hope it's a good day for him without upsetting his former club. Or his present club, to be fair.
Mangala blasting it forward. Back drops Rakitic in that midfield rotation. Mentioned he was at the point of the spear. Now he's at the butt of the spear, even behind Busquets. Back to Alves. Mr. Interim, Salvador Gonzalez, Voro better known as.
He's done all right, Phil. 5 wins out of 10.
His 5th stint as a step-in coach. They haven't called him the interim or the caretaker now because he's actually in his 2nd stint this season, and he will be the manager till the end of the year, but basically a delegate involved in the youth ranks and the front office. And again, knowing that old axiom that managers are hired to be fired, he doesn't want to leave, but Valencia can't afford to not have him down there. Think about this. In his stints right now as the interim boss of Valencia's A team, coming into this point, he just had 2 defeats and 10 wins, and 6-3-6 with a miserable squad this year. Trying to step over Neymar, harassed all the way by Montoya, another ex-Barca player who's found his way back to La Liga. Iniesta on the overlap against his old teammate, who forces the ball out for the corner.
Yep, you've got to ask the question for Voro, what do you have to do to get the job? He's done really, really well. 5 wins in the last 10, I think, is a fantastic response he's got from his team. Give him the job. Why not?
Well, this is a Valencia squad that is in turmoil. Little tricky back heel for Neymar, in for Messi. Wanted it back, but Mascherano was a little slow on the trigger. Peter Lim stepping in a few years back, rescuing them, paying off a lot of the debt. They restarted construction of their brand new stadium, the new Mestalla, a few miles away from the current one with 20,000 more seats. But over the past couple of seasons, well, they've put the hammers down and the fans have picked them up. Not exactly happy with the way things have gone. Bottom of the table earlier this season.
Worrying times. Gary Neville last season, that was a disaster. So yeah, it has been difficult for Valencia fans, and nothing worse than seeing your club selling all the players because of financial difficulties.
When you think about it, Albiol, Angulo, Albelda, Mendieta, David Silva, all played by Messi. Far side Umtiti, player who's normally over on that left flank. Jordi Alba, another player that got a start at Barca but came through and polished up at Valencia. Mangala clears. Umtiti. Back to Piqué, and just look at this. The entire 10 field players within about 40 yards of Diego Alves.
Well, we've seen that before. I think we saw PSG doing exactly the same for the first 30 minutes in the European Champions League game.
Into the area, Suarez cuts back, leaves Garay into the middle. Messi loose. Rafinha sees it touch straight back to Alves, and Messi can only smile.
What a chance. If there were about 3 different players who could have scored and perhaps should have scored, starting with Luis Suarez. One of those moments where Valencia were just surviving on luck. A little bit of an injury here, so maybe we'll get to see it again. But that could so easily and should have gone in, to be fair. Messi probably thinking, how didn't it go in? Let's have a look at it again. Great through ball. Suarez does well here, doesn't he? Turns his player, lines up. I thought he was going to shoot. Messi does, off the line. Rafinha. Oh, how does that not go in, Phil?
And as Suarez cut back, it was off Orellana, then Rafinha to Alves. You saw Garay's leg seem to get trapped, his right leg on the slide. So Valencia did dodge a bullet with the goal, but they might have lost a starting center back in the process. The former national teammate of Messi, and returned from his stint in Russia. And obviously an ex-Madridista. You knew that this match would be a red letter day. Already loosening up on the sidelines. I'm in Abdenur.
Good Suarez again.
Right
Absolutely brilliant. Oh. Sets up Messi. Had a chance a few minutes earlier, Suarez. So he's created 2 good opportunities in the first 15 minutes. Looks like he's really on form today. And that's the problem we were saying earlier, Phil, if you're defending against this side. You know, if Suarez is on form, you're in trouble. If Messi, here he goes, if he's on form, you're in trouble.
Messi looking for the upper corner, and it just sails high.
Which exactly proves the point. Who do you mark here? And you can't mark all 3 at the same time. So they're forever creating opportunities, this front 3 of MSN. Absolutely stunning, world-class, the best we've ever seen. We've used all the adjectives. They really are amazing.
Well, one thing that I had pointed out earlier in the locker room was that in recent games, it has been Neymar who has been carrying this team more than anyone else, and not even close. The fact that in some of the matches, Lionel Messi has almost been a passenger. Maybe you could say he'd been marked out of the game where Neymar was able to break, but that's not the case today. Messi has been radiant. Neymar changing his shoe. It's got to be the shoes.
These guys, the front 3, they can produce magic at any moment. And really the middle 4's job is just to get the ball to them as quickly as possible.
Down a man. Messi doesn't care. Frees Suarez. Good work by Rafinha to start this one out. Trailing run Iniesta. And he almost made something of it. Garay limping on the sideline, or on the field a bit, as Abdenur continues to loosen on the sideline. Touched into space. Cancela in the middle. It is Munir lifting it across. Orellana off the chest. Plays it square, and Umtiti lunges to deny.
Good move there by Valencia. Once again on that right-hand side. Once again you're wondering how early that cross can come in and what damage it could cause, and Orellana bringing it down really well. So yeah, Barcelona will know that they're going to be very careful. They're going to have to defend well. This is a decent Valencia side going forward.
Again, credit to Valencia and Voro. A lot of teams pack in, and they are playing a cautious defense, but when they have the ball, they're stretching things out a bit. Garay, rather than test the leg, leaves it. Perez, the captain, slides in. Here's Mangala back in for the Argentine mid. Even if it seems to be effective, this 3-4-3, will they keep it up against the big teams? Lunging Piqué, denied Ter Stegen. Oh, so close.
Good save.
What a shot by Carlos Soler.
Yeah, good shot, but what a good save from the keeper. He's been in excellent form, Ter Stegen. I mean, you would expect him to make the save, but it's hard. Perhaps he shouldn't have pushed it straight out into the danger area, if I'm being super critical. But nonetheless, it's come with so much pace.
Soler coming up more as a defensive midfielder, but he already has 2 goals on the season. Both of them coming over the last couple of months. Barcelona youth player himself before sliding over to Valencia Mestalla. 5 corners already. We haven't even hit the 19th minute. Well, in looking for Garay. That has some backspin, but not quite enough. What if he's giving him a trial? Either that or Luis Enrique a little rest and recovery.
Yeah, if you're reading between the lines, you would think that Mansueto's got the job and Enrique's just saying, look, you know, it's only a few months to go. Get out there and, you know, dip your feet in the water and get used to it.
Or Luis Enrique giving his good buddy a chance to prove himself.
That's another good point. Yeah, impress the directors who are watching.
Nice from Montoya, who again denies Neymar. In for Soler, sweeps it through Iniesta. And a good tackle, Busquets. 60 degrees at kickoff. Partly cloudy, a bit humid along the Mediterranean coast, and just a bit of a breeze from the west. About a 200-mile trek for the Valencia fans who have made the visit. About 500 of them will be jammed into the upper reaches. Well, if they made the trek. Earlier on this season, they didn't even want to show up at Mestalla, but Voro has given them some hope.
Talking of the Mestalla, wasn't there a bit of a nasty game between these two when they met at the Mestalla? 3-2 in the last minute, Messi penalty, but bottles thrown on the pitch, and I think a bad vibe was left after that particular game. So perhaps nice to see the players in the tunnel just shaking hands and trying to start this off on a more friendly footing.
Neymar in, good eye. Smart touch forward. Not so smart for Munir, a little too tricky for his own good. Into the middle gap. Suarez just gets it to Messi. They're trying to force him right, and it does staunch the flow. Good look at Gaia. One of the stories about this Valencia side. Mentioned Alba, but Gaia part of that left back pipeline. There's Piqué. Busquets drops to cover. Neymar. Dragging Gaia with him. Advantage played, but there might be some paperwork at the end. Inside, just past the flashing boot of Iniesta. And Alves grabs hold.
Yeah, difficult to mark Neymar, isn't it, when he's running? Yeah, where is Luis Enrique? What happened to him there? Is he left on sway on his own?
You know how long the lines are for the restrooms here?
Yeah.
100,000 people waiting. Luis Enrique, we saw him in the tunnel exchanging pleasantries with Voro before the match. Messi. Touched inside, but into the path of Neymar, and Garay healthy enough to deny. What a sloppy touch. Actually, it was Montoya who was back on defense. Almost trapped it for his ex-teammate.
They can punish you in Barcelona if you make mistakes like this. Good run, good first touch here.
Suarez poked away by Garay, and out for the throw-in. Barca getting closer and closer. Garay still lumbering a bit with that ailing right leg. Center back to center back. Let's try it again. Busquets just enough of a touch.
There was that question a little bit earlier, Phil. Should Barca play 3-4-3 against Juventus and against Real Madrid? Well, it works for them. Why not? And it certainly has worked. If you exclude the Deportivo result, it worked really well the last month or two since that PSG defeat. So if they're comfortable with it and it gets them results, then absolutely they're four. That could be a yellow if he's not careful. Yep, 4 across the middle. They're 3. You got Umtiti at the back. He's better at set pieces and he's quick. 4 in the middle means you can dominate as Perez gets that yellow, and the 3 up front are untouchable. So it's a system that seems to work very well for Barca at the moment.
Neymar showing no signs of that adductor injury, throwing himself into the mix. There is Luis Enrique. Ready to charge into the back post in the red and blue. Sails over everyone to the waiting arms of Alves.
A little bit too close to the keeper. That if you want to get a good free kick, just far enough away from the keeper so he doesn't come and it falls into that no man's land between keeper and defenders, and that's when you're likely to get some reward as the attacking team.
Cancela very active on a couple of breaks earlier, but Barcelona seems to have stymied that of late. Messi dropping back off the chest of Iniesta. Threaded forward for the Brazilian. Bumped down in the box, and he's going to point for a goal kick. Pleading that it should have been a dive, but I think Neymar may be more of an argument, although he walks away silently.
Let's have a look at it again. Let's have a look at it again. Yeah, it's. I think he makes sure there's contact, Neymar, doesn't he? Have a look here. Watch his right foot.
Right there. Yeah. And you know what?
His foot's going out, though. He's looking for the contact, but it forces the referee to make a call one way or the other. We can't trust forwards to be absolutely honest, Phil. They're never going to be. They're always going to look for the advantage. They're always going to look for the contact. It's up to the ref to try and call it, and that's why I think of all the jobs on that pitch, the man in yellow and black has the toughest job of all.
Much made in the comeback against PSG that Neymar might have played one, but it's not exactly the attacker's responsibility to avoid the contact.
Agreed. That's why as a defender you don't put your foot out in the box. You don't lift your hands up when the ball comes in case the ball hits it. You just got to be super careful.
Rakitic on the break. Messi in the middle, and he's got Neymar, but looks for Suarez. And a desperate tackle by Gaia puts it out for the corner.
The last thing you want to see as a defense is Messi running at you with time on the board. He is going to hurt you. And the way things are going, you feel that a goal for Barcelona is going to come soon.
Neymar from the right. Blocked by Orellana. Taken right back. Valencia can't even get the ball away from their own goal mouth. Messi into the area, deflects into the center. Garay pounces to clear. Looks like one adjustment, keeping an eye on it when Valencia does get it. You see Busquets drop back to give a little more help on the back line. Headed back, almost read by Iniesta.
Barca still probing, looking for opportunities. Great ball in there to Iniesta. Is he through?
And he is, and he's on. Knotted into the middle. Munir. Piqué back. Munir slides in. Could not bring it under control.
What a chance for Valencia. Keeper ter Stegen takes a big knock. Super brave to come out there, but that's a great chance. Munir through on goal. Will Valencia fans say yes? Well, he doesn't want to score. He's a Barca player. Comes back to that point again, but I think the keeper has to come out and make a really good save here.
It looks like ter Stegen paid the price a bit.
This is from the keeper. This is a great kick out. Look at that.
Finds the run brilliantly. Piqué almost caught him.
It's one of the best passes I've seen all season.
But he couldn't bring that second touch down.
Yep, Piqué blaming the referee, but from what we saw there, Munir was just onside. He just lets it get away from him.
From the corner into the middle, Mangala! Sharply placed. The breakaway from Munir leads to the goal, and Valencia in front at the Nou Camp.
Brilliant header there from Mangala. Absolutely stunning the way he gets up and the power he gets behind that ball. Ter Stegen's got to be annoyed. He's just made one good save. Voro delighted, of course, but as a keeper, you make one good save, you expect your defense to be a bit tighter, and not the case. I'd like to see who was marking him. Was it Rakitic was on his shoulder? Yes, Rakitic has got Mangala here. It seems a bit of a mismatch. Phil, Mangala's huge. Gets up strong. Rakitic doesn't even put him off. As a defender, even if you get beaten, you've got to be up there getting in someone's face. Rakitic does nothing, pays the price.
You see, Busquets had his hands full with Munir. And Eliakim Mangala, again, excess at Manchester City, perfection at Valencia.
Well, amazing game, isn't it? After all that pressure from Barcelona, and there we are saying, well, they're going to get a breakthrough any moment. Down the other end they go. Great kick out from Diego Alves to Munir. Absolutely brilliant. What's that, 50, 60-yard pass? He wins a corner from the corner. Poor marking. Great header, Mangala, and the visitors are one up.
Well, Mangala, not exactly known as a scorer, but he does have his second goal. Leganés the first. I think this one's going to mean a bit more. Now, if you're Valencia, obviously 60 minutes too long to kill, but you get a bit more conservative here. And if you missed it, watch it again. Facebook.com/beIN Sports USA.
I think you get a bit more energetic. You suddenly think, hang on a second, we're 1-0 up. Why can't we go on and win this? And now you're closing down a bit quicker. You're working a bit harder. Look at this, the commitment there from the white shirts. You suddenly think that a game that they were given no hope of winning, they can possibly leave with all 3 points.
You saw Gaia getting tangled with Rakitic.
Mind you, I don't think they're the only ones hoping for this result. I got a feeling a few Real Madrid fans and manager and players are also going, come on, Valencia.
And even Sevilla and Atletico would see Barcelona draw close. Still a long time to go.
Oh, yeah. MSN at Nou Camp, 60 minutes is a very long time.
Take a look at the way the table would be if this match ended like this, and it would be a 5-point gap, in Real Madrid still with that game in hand against Celta.
And Clásico at home, it would be all but over if they lose this. But long way to go, and Suarez on form, so
Mangala,
let's see what happens.
Cleats up, face level, but far enough away from Suarez, said the referee, in a swirling run. There into the attack, tries to dribble through two, but denied by Piqué. Now Iniesta the other way. Forget the midfield, they've put in an expressway. Back for Rafinha, and the slide from Enzo Perez denies.
Good defending, Valencia. They're going to have to do this for the rest of the match, I would guess, because Barca are going to come at them.
Little tangle, sees Suarez take a tumble.
Look at it again. Mangala getting up so well, but for me, Rakitic, if he's your man, you've got to at least lean into him, do something. But I think it's also taking away from Mangala because he gets up and turns his body in midair and guides it into the corner. It's a great header under pressure.
A bit of a race. Piqué trying to get there, and just Cancela, if he had been able to get around the big man, would have been off to the races. Things starting to boil over a bit. Barcelona smelling trouble. Again, what a turnaround.
the Barca fans are thinking, what's going on, guys? We didn't think that you were going to do it against PSG and you pull off a minor miracle. We think you'll go to Deportivo and win and you lose. And here we're expecting you to thump 5 or 6 past Valencia and you're 1 down. It's a bit of a roller coaster for Barca fans.
Almost drops into the path of Messi, but Mangala makes it difficult, and out it goes. Goal kick. Well, Chile and Bolivia in his future, but right now, if he wasn't thinking Valencia, he is. Of course, Luis Suarez with a big match against Neymar and Brazil. Check out beInSports.com for more. Finding the gap, Suarez quickly tucks it wide, and he hits the bullseye at the back post. Quick thinking by Neymar, marksmanship from the Uruguayan.
Brilliant from Neymar, early throw, but that man was looking for the ball. He wanted it, he made himself available. He's already created 2 or 3 chances in this match, and you felt that he was going to score something. Luis Suarez, absolutely brilliant, and well done Neymar for looking for. Look at that early throw. But Suarez makes the opportunity, makes the chance. It just bends it full. Puts a really good bend on that to get around Alves and inside that post. Here we see it again. Look at him. Look at the ball. Bends it, curls it. Oh, brilliant.
Now here they come again. Tied at 1, looking for the lead. Messi with the shot outside the area. And starting to will this Barcelona side forward.
Look at all those bodies behind the ball in white. Virtually the entire team back, defending, closing down. Working really hard not to give Barcelona any opportunities.
If you missed it, watch it again. Facebook.com/beInSportsUSA. Well-timed run. Iniesta almost brought it down. Montoya with him step for step, though.
Look at how Rafinha's right on the touchline. They really stretch you. Neymar's on the 1 touchline, Rafinha on this touchline. As the ball comes to the keeper, and so they stretch you. They force you to push out wide, and gaps open up in between the centre backs because they're so far apart.
Back comes Iniesta. Those 3 back, and the wall of midfielders. A lot of running for Barcelona. Into the middle. Rafinha throws his body in front but maintains possession. Falls in for Suarez, edge of the area. There was a collision. Mangala saying yes, it was, but Messi down in pain, and it looks like the card is already out. He's got red and yellow. It would be harsh for a red, but Mangala going in the book.
Yeah, it should be a yellow. It's a slightly mistimed tackle. I don't think there was anything malicious in it. I think the referee's saying as much.
And Mangala accepts it.
But you don't want to be giving free kicks to Messi and co on the edge of your box like that. That is asking for trouble. What are the odds Messi bends us into one of the top corners?
Well, he does have a habit of getting even.
Interesting stat, Phil. The goalkeeper that Messi scored most against is?
Diego Alves.
You got it. 19 goals he scored against him. So Alves will be looking at this going, no, come on.
And I
not
still
you
remember
again.
Almeria, where he had an outstanding game. If I recall, it was about 7 or 8 saves in an 8-1 defeat, and he still could have been man of the match.
8-1 defeat.
And again, the Lionel Messi watch continues. Neymar, of course, that dramatic free kick that helped the comeback against PSG, but this is a case of pick your poison.
Deja vu, is it for Diego Alves?
Set up a little more for the right footer, but it is Messi. It is Messi. And just over.
Just over, not too far off, and it comes so quickly as a goalkeeper. You've hardly got time to move. Have a look at it. And he's actually going the goalkeeper's side. He was thinking that maybe Diego Alves would try and go to his right and cover the wall. In the end, just a bit too high. Here's the PK said he was offside. I don't think so. As that ball was hit, Munir was level. What a kick from the keeper, Diego Alves, though. Munir just losing it, losing control of it, and yep, ter Stegen takes a boot in the groin. Occupational hazard, I'm afraid.
Nice from Munir. Back inside for Soler. Getting more involved. Back into the run. Trying to feed it into the middle for Cancela, but Munir and his left foot fails. Now out the other way. This is a mano-a-mano battle. Both teams fighting tooth and nail. Messi off the second touch. Iniesta almost caressed that back behind himself into the path of Messi, but cleared.
Luis Enrique troubled there. He knows they absolutely have to win this, Barcelona, to keep that pressure on Real Madrid. Lose this and it virtually is title over. Even a draw won't be good enough.
The area. Good eye. Able to clear it back to midfield. It has been a busy first half, and we'll be recapping it in entirety, as well as the rest of round 28 on our Volkswagen halftime show in mere moments. Good eye. Battling. Suarez just gets a touch, which drives it away. Suarez still got it through Alves, but they're saying it had crossed the goal line. Barely.
Yeah, I'd like to see that again. The goalkeeper just left it Diego Alves. It's a risky maneuver, but it paid off in the end. The linesman agreeing with him that it did go out. But once again, Luis Suarez, what a player this man is. Determined. Let's have a look. Is it? Yeah.
You know, we're looking at it from an angle, but the ball has to go completely across.
Yep.
If it did, it was by a couple blades of grass.
I just love his attitude, Suarez. Tough, fights for everything. And if there's anybody you want on your side when the chips are down, it would be a Luis Suarez.
See, that's the key. On your team. Yeah. He's the type of guy you hate to play against.
Absolutely. No, I mean, he's physically tough. He'll leave his mark on you. He'll sort of cause you to give away fouls and penalties. He must be every central defender's nightmare. But when he's on your team, wow. And when you can add Messi and Neymar to it, then you're in heaven.
Iniesta held up, and the cynical play will get Dani Parejo in the book.
Yep. Unnecessary, Phil. We say it time and time again. Don't give away cheap yellows, because just now you mistime a tackle, a genuine tackle, get a second yellow and you're off. Don't do that. The pullbacks, the arguing with the referees, those are all very cheap yellows. Another one that drives me nuts is taking your shirt off when you score a goal and getting booked for that. Why? It's just silly.
Well, is it a silly card or a silly violation?
Well, it is the rules, so stick with the rules, in which case it's a silly player who gets booked for that.
Ball in, gets around Mangala, flying in Suarez. Mangala reached back, and if so, that's his second, but it would have been a breakaway regardless. And what had been a dream start is rapidly turning into a nightmare for Valencia. A penalty and now down a man.
Crucial moment. Who creates it again? Luis Suarez. Great ball from Messi, but Suarez causing all sorts of problems. And if you're Mangala, let him go. You've still got a goalkeeper there. Don't pull him back. Don't do anything. Don't hold on to him. Now, you can see it's a small tug, but it's a tug. And as soon as Suarez feels it, down he goes. He knows he's got the penalty and red card as well, a second yellow. Changes the game entirely, but that's the problem, Phil, when you play against Barcelona. They are so good in so many areas. It's very difficult. Easy for us to say, don't do this, don't do that, but they are so good that you end up making mistakes and getting punished and going down to 10 men in this case.
So now Messi from the spot. He is a perfect 3 for 3. Meanwhile, Diego Alves, the other side. There is no goalkeeper in the history of the game who has been as good, and he almost stops it, but Messi with a cannonball down the middle. Barcelona comes from behind. They've taken the lead.
Messi against Diego Alves, rather, 20 goals. The goalkeeper he scored against most often, and for the poor goalkeeper, deja vu once again. Messi absolutely superb, but I still give the credit. Luis Suarez made that happen. Messi did put a great through ball for him, but Suarez made it happen. He forced the situation. Barcelona, perfect timing, Phil, to go 2-1 up just before halftime, and you know that the opposition, Valencia, are down to 10 men.
Well, two things of note there. Up until that penalty kick, Diego Alves had saved, not missed, had saved more penalties than he had allowed. And this year he had stopped 3 of the 5. But Lionel Messi now 4 for 4. Another little interesting twist is, remember, last year, chance now to try and reclaim, sneaks inside, tucked into the corner, and just like that, Munir almost apologizing to the home crowd. Jose Luis Gaya flying into the attack, and he finds Munir. Sloppy defense from Barcelona, and we are back in a game.
Luis Enrique's thinking, what is going on here today? This is driving me nuts. But a good ball through there, great ball through, lovely pass. Munir finishes in style against his club. And will it cost him in the long run?
Piqué a little late coming over, but that's the danger with 3 in the back. 3 in the back gives you the midfield, which Barcelona had problems with, but the back becomes even more vulnerable.
Yep. It certainly does, but 2-2, game on here. Although down to 10 men, Valencia, it's going to be a tough second half for them. And you still think Barcelona will score a lot more than they'll concede, but well done, Valencia. They're certainly making a game of it.
I mentioned last year, Lionel Messi missed 4 of his 7 penalties. Today, he makes his 4th of 4. Here, the first, Mangala, he would be a storyline not once but twice. And we are level at the half at 2 goals apiece. It is Barcelona who have the man advantage. And here from our 360 view, Luis Suarez, not a lot left, but he found that one little thread inside the far post. 2-2 at the half. The victory. Will that be the case today, or can Valencia hold on, or perhaps return the favor? All eyes on the field of the Camp Nou, and as we see one switch, they are down a man on the back line after the ejection of Eliakim Mangala. So Oriana sacrificed, and Ayman Abdennour coming in. Now the concern being is Ezekiel Garay was injured in the first half on a tackle attempt, a block attempt of Luis Suarez. They cannot afford to see Garay not finish this match.
Yep.
Mangala is out, Oriana is out. Would imagine Munir will head more into a wing position or a striker position with Cancelo, and there won't truly be a center forward at the moment.
Makes it very difficult for Valencia. Now look at them all back behind the ball. They're going to have to defend more than they were first half. And first half was tough enough. You know, if they had all 11 men, you'd be thinking, wow, maybe this could be a day when they can do it. But with 10 men, it would take a superhuman effort to stop Barcelona from winning this match. So Barca fans might be chewing their nails, but you just sense that the weight of numbers and opportunities will eventually allow Barcelona to break through.
Now, from Voro's perspective, the fact they are down a man would imagine they'd be a little more conservative on the breaks. Ball pushed forward, flipped back by Iniesta, although it was right after Barcelona had taken the lead from the Messi penalty that they burst forward. Beautiful ball from Carlos Soler to free Gaia to an open Haddadi. And I guess in some ways maybe just too young to know they should be cautious.
Was a great goal. I mean, didn't expect it. 2-1 down, had a man sent off. They came straight back, but to do that again, not easy, especially if you don't have possession. You're down to 10 men. Look, Barca will dominate possession. They'll keep probing around the box. It's going to take a Herculean effort, as they say, to even come away with a draw here for Valencia.
Good eye. Abdennour, the 27-year-old Tunisian-born defender, ex of Monaco. Good, solid defender. In fact, 54 caps for his national team. And he does have 7 starts this season. Iniesta, dangerous, and there is the big man to clear. Strong run from the flank. Suarez almost snuck it in, but off the heels of Garay, who lumbers back into position. Something you had talked about in the first half, Gary. Rafinha from the flank, diving header, Abdennour. Busquets making life difficult. Iniesta now chipped forward, and again speed, but well played by Mascherano. The fact that that loan clause that so many fans hate, and we saw it earlier today with Atletico, preventing Kranevitter and Vieto from playing against them. Neymar entering the area, cuts back to his right, drives it in, and again Garay with the block. Well, Barcelona not putting that clause in for Munir, and it's cost them twice. 2 of his 5 goals have come against Barcelona.
Why would you not? Oh,
Suarez, it just slips away.
Why would you not do that? I mean, I get the idea you want the player you're loaning out to play as many games as possible, but yes, against everyone else but you. And it doesn't help you when that player plays against you. And then it's not just the scoring goals. It's the what if there's a terrible clash and by mistake you break a player's leg, and that's the guy who's sitting next to you in the team when you return. It just creates too many problems. And I was in that situation with Man United once when we were playing a pre-season friendly and their goalkeeper got injured, and I went in, came out, punched the ball and punched my own centre forward, and then we got into a fight, and you're like, why am I getting myself in this situation? It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe other people see it differently. I think a loan clause should automatically have an exclusion about playing against your parent club.
There's a chance for Umtiti, pushing it wide for Neymar. 2 banks of 4 with Munir leaning out, but all 9 field players around the 18. In for Neymar, lifts it over. Alves diving into his compatriot to force him wide. So close.
Yep, so close. Keeper does well there, but you get the sense this is how the 45 minutes of the second half is going to play out. Barca creating opportunities and Valencia just trying to hold them at bay. Nearly gets on the end of that. Tough times ahead for Diego Alves and company.
Neymar, of course, will be in action against Luis Suarez and Uruguay as World Cup action gets back underway. Diego Alves had taken over the #1 spot. It was about to when he got hurt and missed more than half of a season. That's opened the door for young Alisson, the Roma project, along with Weverton and Ederson, who has burst onto the scene from Benfica, have been called in by Brazil. So Alves still something to prove. Here's Neymar into the middle. Messi, Abdennour just sledgehammers it out to midfield into the path of Cancela. It's 3v4 if they hurry, but look at the speed. Out wide, nice touch for Soler. The shot put straight to Ter Stegen.
Yeah, not much of a shot, but a wonderful counter-attack, and I guess that's how they're going to play it. Yeah, running into space. They've got the pace there. But you've also got enough bodies back for Barcelona to stop them. It's going to be difficult.
Young speed. Munir 21. Joao Cancelo 22. Soler just 20. Gaia 21.
Mascherano 30-something. Busquets nearly 30. Iniesta 30 or nearly.
Nice weave to the inside. Montoya against his old side takes a tumble, and now down a man, and Montoya trapped upfield. It is Messi with Neymar. Neymar! Oh, and a kick save by Diego Alves.
Brilliant save from Diego Alves. What a ball from Messi to Neymar. Thought he had done the job then. That's the danger of Valencia pushing forward, is you get caught on the counter-attack. Great ball. Was he just offside?
Ooh. Maybe, just maybe. Gaia keeping him on.
Good save. Great foot out. Oh, absolutely brilliant.
And again, you can see, in my mind, when he is on, there is no better goalkeeper on the planet. It'd be amazing to see what he could do with a solid defense in front of him. Driven by Neymar. Met on the volley. Deflects and then whacked by Soler. Through ball. Mascherano in for Messi. Abdenor wrong-footed. Messi right-footed. Back in front, Barcelona.
Brilliant strike from Messi there. I think with his right foot as well, which is the one he doesn't use as often, but it had to come. Phil, there's just too many chances for these great Barcelona players. Valencia down a man, chasing shadows, trying to counter-attack. They eventually had to get through, but what a good finish from out wide, and tough on Diego Alves. You've just made a wonderful save from Neymar, and a minute later Messi's shooting. Let's have a look at it here. Gets it onto his right foot. Yeah, near post. You always say the keeper should really, cover the near post, but I don't want to pick on him. He's just made a world-class save, Diego Alves. So difficult to keep the MSN at bay for too long.
25 goals on the season. Tops in the scoring chart. 41 now in all competitions. That's 8 straight seasons he's broken the 40-goal mark. And he's got the brace on the day and on a hat-trick.
The new Barcelona manager, so we hear. Excited by that goal going in.
5 goals, and we've still got a ways to go. Watch it again, facebook.com/BeinSportsUSA. Suarez with 22, Messi now with 25. And again mentioned in recent games, Lionel Messi has not been the driving force. Today he has been foot perfect. You could say from a Barcelona perspective, that's why they got Suarez, that's why they got Neymar. It's the opposition's job to shut them all down. Neymar wishes he had that one back.
Yep, bad pass from Neymar. He knew it straight away. Messi had made a good run. He wanted to just put him in and somehow didn't pull it off there. They're genius players, but they don't get it right every single time.
55th minute approaches, and hey, Gary, they're talking to you specifically. If you were Voro, what would you have done today?
Well, when I played against Barcelona, there was a little church as you go out down the tunnel. I would have spent a long time there, because I think he's played it spot on, Voro. I mean, he's counter-attacked well, taken opportunities from set pieces. I think they've defended as well as they could have. They've been really, really good, Valencia, for me. It's just Mangala. Yeah, Ter Stegen sees it over the line. Mangala's second yellow just tips the scales against Valencia a little bit too much, and it's difficult. But his Voro's aim, Phil, is not to go and beat Valencia and Real Madrid every game. It's to get to the middle of the table, top half of the table, hopefully, build this fantastic Valencia club up so they can start competing and get themselves into the top 5 or 6.
Well, they already have beaten Real Madrid under Voro just a few weeks ago. Lifted by Messi, drops it to Suarez. Abdenor back, and it trickles into the arms of Alves. The other point to consider, especially down a man, talked about the youthfulness. Appeals for a foul. The get up, says the referee. The youthfulness of Valencia, but it comes back to haunt them a bit. Montoya may be a little over-eager against his old side, marking Neymar and poking it free. Charging upfield, almost as a center forward, where he lost his balance. And that meant a short-handed defense was even down further a man. And Barcelona, showing no sympathy, went right at the hole that he had vacated, and it led to the go-ahead goal.
Just seeing if there was a foul in the middle of the field there. That's the problem when you're down to 10 men against a team as good as Barca. Sometimes you don't want to attack. And I know it sounds silly, like why wouldn't you want to attack? But the reason is that then they counter-attack you. And all those spaces are available for them. And that was part of the problem PSG had in the European Champions League matches. They sat very deep and they were pushed deep most of the time. But they wanted to deny Barcelona space. Well, nearly
inside. And what might have been chance out wide, and it's Piqué struggling to get there. Munir cuts to the inside. Piqué with the touch. Brilliant defending by the big man as he teaches his teammate a lesson.
Munir had him beat. He came inside. He actually had him beat. Then he went out again. He didn't need to. He'd already got past Piqué there. But imagine if he scores the winner. We go back to that loan clause again, or the equalizer. Why would you want to let Munir play against you?
Side flag stays down, squared by Rakitic. Messi seemed to be tripped. Apologies from Montoya, and smiles all around.
Good chance for Rakitic to have had a shot himself there. As this comes in, I'm thinking, is Rakitic offside? No, he's not. Bring it down and just score the goal. I mean, very nice to set your teammate up, but when you've got a clear side of goal, maybe take the opportunity.
Messi and Suarez would have been in good position for a rebound. 58th minute. Take another look. Now, if he makes this cutback sharper.
There, he's in. Don't go back out again. It opened the goal up. It's on his right foot. It got round Piqué. Then he, for some reason, wants to go back onto his left foot there.
It seemed like when he cut back, it might have bounced up off of his leg. Not quite where he wished. But in many ways, Valencia should have had a chance for the equalizer. And again, down a man.
It is a bit worrying for Barcelona that they can be counter-attacked so easily with pace, especially down Mascherano's side. That was the same against PSG.
Nice read Iniesta. Messi in for Neymar, poked free from behind Montoya, who needed a scalpel to do it.
And here comes Valencia. Credit to them.
Neymar seems to be tiring a bit. Again, not saying they're safe from the relegation zone, but they're not going to get to Europe. So why not let it all hang out? Munir landing awkwardly.
We were just talking about Mascherano on that right-hand side as he gets on the ball. That's where they've had joy today, Valencia, and it's where PSG had joy with Di Maria and Cavani. Be my only question mark. Umtiti fantastic, Piqué fantastic. Mascherano, has he got the pace and the speed to be a central defender?
Neymar hit it high as Perez drops to the back line, gasping for air from this end-to-end play. Mentioned in the pregame show of the prior 72 matches at the Camp Nou between these two teams. Valencia had only won 12. There's Neymar driving on Montoya. Back for Rakitic. Saw Suarez make the run, but he pointed behind to find Rafinha. It's even worse in some ways for Valencia in recent times. Over the last 22 against Barcelona anywhere, they've only won 2. But both of those have come in their last 4 trips to Barcelona. So don't count them out just yet. Rafinha. Ashe. Neymar. Well weighted overhead volley try, but it wouldn't have counted anyway.
A nice little effort there from Rafinha. Ball just knocked in a little bit too much time on the ball. Was he offside? Not sure he was.
Diego Alves made it a moot point. There Cancelo. You know what? That might be a veteran call for Iniesta. If it had been the other way around, I wouldn't have been surprised if the whistle would have blown.
You're at the Camp Nou. You're not going to get too many decisions go your way.
Spoken like a man who knows all about Old Trafford.
Yeah.
30 minutes left. Messi again motoring. Neymar. Chipped and clipped by Montoya. In for Suarez. He's stripped by Abdennour. Good ball out. Soler dispossessed. Mascherano, the human exocet. Iniesta in good hands from Alves, the 31-year-old keeper out of Botafogo.
So I've quite seen enough from Iniesta, have we? I mean, I know he's had his injury problems and he's coming back to full fitness. In fact, he's had 3 bad injuries this year, especially the one on his knee. Will there go Suarez?
Scrambling back just in time, Gaja. Again, part of that left-back pipeline. Alba. Now they bought Mathieu, who was a pretty good left back in his own right. They also had Bernat, who's moved over to Bayern Munich and done quite well for himself. There's a couple more good young left backs for Valencia. Mestalla. Something in the water. Neymar to Messi. Suarez makes the run in for the Uruguayan, onside but off target.
Suarez
that one
again.
Close.
Yeah, very close. Suarez again getting in there, causing problems. You can never rest when he's around. Messi's just waiting. He's onside. Messi's just waiting for his head up. He's watching Suarez. He's the man. And as soon as Suarez starts moving, Messi threads that ball in.
Roberto about to check in. Recently that would have been a change at right back, but there really isn't a right back. Going with a caution. Maybe someone tiring, perhaps an Iniesta. And has been somewhat of a hybrid attacking midfielder right back. Snuck in by Neymar, tackled back, and Alves keeps it in play.
Hard yards for Valencia, chasing, hunting down, blocking Barcelona, but the only one goal behind at this stage, so they'll love to keep it like that until towards the end and see if they can get an equalizer. Down to 10 men, not easy for Valencia, but they've done really well so far.
7 wins, 6 draws over the last 25 visits from Valencia here. Looking at the bench. Will there be a burnout? Neymar whips it across and almost finds Iniesta. It's not much of a bench, but not a proven bench.
It's a different bench to Real Madrid as we see this chance again. Real Madrid's players come on, you feel that they can do it. Look at this. One, Iniesta and Suarez. But I look at Morata and I think Morata can make a difference when he comes on. Kovacic and James, of course, and Isco. 4 players that can make a difference. Look at Barcelona's bench, Digne, Alba, Alcácer, Denis Suarez. I'm like,
well, you wouldn't have thought much of Sergio Roberto, but he might have scored the goal of the season.
Yes, against PSG, that was a fantastic goal. But I don't think he's the sort of player you think is going to come on and win you a game. He's coming on now with a fresh pair of legs, give Rakitic a break.
The Swiss mid will miss the rest of this match, and Sergio Roberto in, and Barcelona applauding their homegrown hero.
I'm sure Barca fans will look back at past years and gone, there's been better benches over the years where players of real quality can come on and make a difference. That's probably, and I agree with the tweet, that probably is one of their weaknesses. But only a couple of months to go. You tell these players they can win a European Champions League, La Liga title, and the Cup, they can do a treble. They will go out there and work for you. I've no doubt about that. They can sniff the end of the season, and they can sniff the trophies in the air.
25 minutes left, and again, there we see, talking about the potential burnout. On paper, though, I mean, maybe Denis Suarez still hasn't proven himself, but he's probably the most Barca-like. Look what Arda Turan was able to do at Atletico, Paco Alcácer at this very same Valencia. Jordi Alba was one of the best left backs on the planet, it seemed, and Digne showing so much promise at Roma. Even Aleix Vidal, who turned into a joke the first half of the season before finding his feet, did so well at Sevilla and Almeria. Ball played across. Rafinha drives, strikes, but straight into the midsection and no problem for Alves.
Chances for Barcelona. Rafinha, I just wonder if his first touch couldn't have been into the box. Let's have a look at it again. It sort of gets stuck under his feet there. He can take that forward and then onto the ball. He might have done better.
Nice tackle. No. They're going to call it the other way. Cancelo with the foul as Iniesta down.
They're still threatening, aren't they, Valencia? They're still probing on the edge of the box, giving defense a few problems.
And there we take a look. This was the collision, Montoya. And then here we see the ensuing play.
Oh, good save.
Denied by the brilliant stop from Alves. Messi unstoppable.
So getting that phase of the game where Valencia legs are tired. They've been running, they've been chasing with 10 men. The last sort of 30 minutes or 20 minutes has made them even more tired. This is when errors can happen.
Oh, behind Iniesta.
That's a yellow. Not sure Iniesta's the same player he has been. I really feel that these injuries have taken their toll and he's battling to get back, and maybe this is just a sign of frustration for him, because he was, possibly still is, but he was one of the greatest midfield players of all time. Gomez getting ready to come on, maybe for Iniesta. We'll see.
Way through the second half. One thing that you have to also appreciate, the only way that this works is by utilizing Gerard Piqué, who has been perhaps at his best. But this demands so much from him in the center of the park.
In terms of Piqué organizing the defense, yeah, he's a key
Sometimes
man.
Being a one-man stopper.
Yeah. But he's got Umtiti on his left side, and he's a younger player, Umtiti, but he's got great pace and strength. Mascherano, well, he's been there, done everything, hasn't he? I just wonder if he has the pace to, you know, to be the last line of defense, because he's been outstripped a few times today and in previous matches. But that would be my only concern there, Mascherano. Other than that, Piqué and Titi, top class.
Right after Messi gave Barcelona the lead, Munir equalized within a minute. Now Messi with his second, chipped up and over. Not a bad idea. And Suarez apologizing to Neymar, who was open.
Yeah, difficult one to get that in the top corner from there, especially against Diego Alves.
Approaching the 70th minute, 3-2 the score. Valencia down a man, but they have been pushing forward and had a few chances. Again, hashtag Be in La Liga about MSN. Is it the greatest front three in footballing history? And it would be hard to argue, but at the same point, you could come up with an argument it's not even the greatest front three in Barcelona history. Going back to the days when Thierry Henry or even Neto and Ibra were in the mix.
I think it's the best of all time, and for me, one way of telling is you've got the Uruguay captain, Argentinian captain, and Brazilian captain. So those countries value each of these players. I've never seen three better players together, and given the trophies they've won, a treble, a double, and who knows what's going to come this season,
Iniesta.
It'd be hard to argue against them being the best front three. I'm sure there are other front threes who are comparable, but I don't think any better.
I think you have to go back in the days before YouTube. Break out the 16mm or the 2-inch tapes if you're lucky. And the Stefano, Puskás, and Gento, but you're talking legends in a different era.
You're going so far back in time. I think footballs were made of leather and laces, and 99.9% of the people listening won't have a clue who you're talking about. But yeah, there's been some legendary teams over the last 70, 80 years. But in recent memory, as good as Real Madrid are, the front three, these three are phenomenal.
Offside. And again, Valencia pushing forward. Parejo, a rare challenge himself. Or
is he off? Oh, okay, maybe just.
Some other news coming out. Mentioned in our earlier match that Steven Nzonzi might be on his way out. Sevilla midfielder being tempted by Juventus in Italy, but there also could be a move on the managerial bench. Quique Setien, who's done so well at Las Palmas, maybe the best, most attractive football in La Liga, but he's been waiting so long to come to a coaching agreement. He says, you know what, forget it, we're never going to reach one, and he says he's leaving. So maybe Barcelona would have someone else to consider, but someone's going to get themselves a great coach in Setien. It might even be Valencia.
Someone's going to get themselves,
headed by Sergio Roberto, but he couldn't repeat the feat.
Someone's going to get themselves a great job at Barcelona. It's just a difficult person to follow. I know Luis Enrique isn't the most popular, but treble, double, and something this year, one would assume, it's a hard act to follow.
Again, better winning percentage than Pep Guardiola or Cruyff, and the third most trophies, and he's not done yet. Neither's Messi. Slapped away, rebound, Suarez, and somehow he guides it wide.
Unbelievable. Great strike there from Messi. Good save, Diego Alves. It comes to the one person you think is certain to put it away. Maybe it came a little bit quickly for Suarez. And he just doesn't guide it into the back of the net. And they need this goal, Barcelona. They can't afford to go at 3-2 into the final minutes of the game in case Valencia counter-attack and get the equalizer. 2 points dropped today, and the league race is virtually as good as over.
Zaza, the big Italian, on the sideline getting a talking to before he comes in. Well, that will change the dynamic. I wonder if they will still keep Cancelo and Haddadi and Parejo and Soler up there. Andre Gomes about ready to check in for Barcelona. And it's a straight swap for Munir, who's scored in both matches against his parent club, and gets a nice round of applause in the Camp Nou. Meanwhile, Simone Zaza steps onto the pitch. The man who was wanted but came just a little bit too late to save the prior manager. Cesare Prandelli, frustrated, walked away, which meant Voro stepping in as an interim boss for a second time this season. Zaza has proven that he was right. He has added something. Neymar across, whips it up and wide of that far corner.
Chances galore here, one after the other, really, for Barcelona. There's a sort of expectation that, okay, the ball is going to go in the back of the net and they will probably win 4-2, 5-2. But the reality is it's still 3-2. And look at these counterattacks with pace.
Again, you see Munir in the middle as that threaded through Piqué for his 5th goal of the season. So Zaza in for Munir. Out comes Rafinha. Holmes, the player, in. Still one sub to go. Dennis Suarez still available if Barca wants some offense. Digne available if they want to shore up that back. As is Jordi Alba. Might want to step out against his old team.
It's not like they're struggling, Barcelona. I mean, it's nobody, you know, don't think, well, they must get a strike run because they're not creating chances. They're creating tons of chances. Just they need to take one or two of them.
Meanwhile, for Valencia, still with one sub left, they have the ex-PSV striker in Zakaria Bakali. Much had been expected of the youngster, and he's only shown flashes, really. Midfielder in Alvaro Medran, and also an ex-La Masia midfielder in Henny Valderrama, making his debut on the bench today. Spent 5 years with Barcelona before moving on. Don't expect to see him unless Barca maybe adds a couple here. Iti. Iniesta driving towards the 18, tripped up.
More free kicks in a dangerous area. More opportunities for Messi and company to have a crack at goal. Iniesta. I worry about him and all the injuries he's had. Every time he goes down, you think, has he been weakened by the injuries? Is it becoming a regular problem for him? Has it slowed him down? I really hope he gets back to his full level. What a wonderful player he is when he's fully fit. So here we go again, Phil. Pick your corner.
I'll set up more for the right-footed Neymar, and he is the last one that touched it. Now, as a goalkeeper, do you use that a rule of thumb?
No. I panic either way here. Whoever steps up.
Neymar into the corner and off the post. Inches away.
So close yet again. Great strike, Neymar. Absolutely brilliant. Let's see if Diego Alves got close. It wasn't too far away. Maybe he would have saved it if it was inside that top corner, but brilliant strike. They're close again, Phil, and yet still only 1 goal difference against 10 men, Valencia.
Valencia down a man has been able to give Barcelona all it's worth. Here's Zaza. Battle of the big men, and he bursts through, touched into the middle, but past Cancela. Loose in the midfield. Elbow came up from Andre Gomes, and it's going to be a foul, and it's going to be a card. Gaya flying in, and while he didn't know he was under pressure, Gomes catches him right on the noggin.
It didn't seem deliberate at all. Let's have a look here. Oh, he does. Yeah, he lifts his arm up. Yep.
It is shielding and protecting.
Yep. It's one thing lifting your arm, it's lifting your arm towards a player that's going to get you into all sorts of trouble there. So, yep, well done there. Valencia pressure on the edge of the box, creating little opportunities. You never know what happens.
By the way, what could have been a rather testy matchup, Alejandro Hernandez doing a good job. Can't really question the calls so far here today, including that one, which does give Valencia a chance to equalize from a set piece. Parejo so good at these, lifting it, but he slips. And give credit to the Camp Nou for that tackle. Keeping it in, Neymar. Little shake and bake, cuts to the inside. Garay trying to stay with him. Neymar past Abdenor, wide for Gomes, drops it top of the box. Sergio Roberto in for Messi. He keeps it in play, but wide. And again, Barcelona dancing on that head of the pin.
Chances one after the other. It's almost like a training. Here's another one. He's in again.
Through the legs. He got it through, but not past Alves.
It's almost, it's starting to feel like a preseason game where there's loads of chances. Oh, is he through? No.
Decking Piqué.
It's like a preseason game where everyone has a shy goal and you know, not too worried about the final score, because for Barcelona this is still very close.
He's saying it was shoulder to shoulder, and apologies to the big man.
I didn't see Piqué's shoulder being hit. Somewhere between his shoulder blades, more likely.
Given up. Piqué retreats this time. Zaza keeps it alive. Sliding over Gaya, around him Titi. By the way, something to talk about with him in a moment. Touch to the inside. Piqué grabbed by Gaya, but advantage played. The midfield for Messi lets it run. Suarez wide for Gomes. Piqué pushing forward, and what a tackle by Gaya. Launching his body in to deflect that one.
I think Piqué's decided, you know what, guys, if you can't score this crucial cushion goal, I'm going to go up and do it for you.
Roberto. Back to Busquets. Iniesta to Neymar. Nip on the heels from Montoya. Mascherano. Again, there is no need for Barcelona to score conceivably, and especially if their tiki-taka roots could toy with Valencia to 90, or at least that possibility. Lifted by Busquets, but Messi never got the engine started.
They could, Phil. They absolutely could. They can just keep possession and go for the 3-2 win as we see another Neymar opportunity. Not hit hard enough, easy for Alves in the end. The problem is Valencia have already shown how good they are on the counter-attack, how quick they are, and how they can punish Barcelona. So you don't really want to be going into those last few minutes at 3-2 and risking a late equalizer. But that's what have to be done. If you're going to do the professional thing and see it out, then so be it.
Down a man, you can sense the legs starting to get tired for Valencia. These last 10 minutes where Barcelona should be able to take advantage. Cross for Iniesta, dummies it well. Zella continuing to push forward. Neymar. Top of the box, good eye. Wrestling Suarez. Right on the edge of the chalk. And it will be a free kick from just outside the area.
Frustrating for Garay, isn't it? But this man is so good at turning you. He's such a handful. Look at him leaning back into you, turning. In fact, Suarez has got Garay's pants and pulling them. But at the end of the day, the defender has got to deal with that, and he didn't. And now his goalkeeper's got another potential save to make.
Or in the wall.
Alves thinking, not again, not Messi or Neymar from the edge of my box. Guys, give me a break.
Messi has come close, did score from the spot. Neymar about a yard or two further out, hit iron on his last attempt, and they're not even going to do a decoy here. It will be Neymar leaving it for Suarez. Luis Suarez into the wall, and maybe a little too unselfish. Back to Umtiti with 8 minutes left. Skets. Iniesta. Still a sub left to go for both teams. Toji. Iniesta. Messi finds a gap. Drives in through 4. Smart step up by Garay. Aya couldn't get to it. Montoya actually uses the bump of Neymar to keep his balance. Got to get rid of it, though. Starting to run out of options, but he does keep it alive. And Abdenor, with no one around him, loses it. Flag comes up to deny Suarez.
You wonder what Montoya thinks. He's beaten about 8 people there, and Abdenor, as you say, no one around, loses possession. You don't want to be losing possession, Valencia. You need to get this equalizer.
And that offside. One was close.
Just offside.
Again, hashtag BN La Liga. We'd love to hear from you. Voro getting set to make his last substitution, talking about Luis Enrique's decision to walk away. Was it surprising? Well, and the tail part, talking about a 3 to 5 year reign. Even Pep Guardiola said that a coach's reign nowadays tends to be 3 years. The days of an Alex Ferguson seem to be long gone.
Or Arsene Wenger.
Yeah. Still around.
Just hanging on. Yeah, it does seem to be what they call a project these days, as a description of a period of time. So it's a Luis Enrique project coming to an end.
What's it like, visitors after 3 days? They start to smell like old fish. Managers maybe just a little longer, but
it could be the
take a look at the 360.
Well. Yeah, it could be the players, Phil. That this is the goal inside post. Diego Alves, watch your inside post there, near post. It could also be the players. I mean, in my day, the manager told you what to do. Today, the players tell the manager. They're the wealthy ones. They're the great players. They can do what they want with freedom of contract. So you've got to be constantly motivating them. And maybe after 3 to 5 years, they go, yeah, I've heard your team talk before. I've heard your little chat. I'm done. I need something fresh. So it's the players who, to some degree, are calling the shots when it comes to managers moving on.
Zakaria Bakali, the Belgian-born player out of PSV, make that, is over. But credit to Voro and Valencia, but it's causing a problem defensively. Abdenor with a strong challenge, and Messi just exhausted. One back in the midfield. Sergio Roberto to Neymar. Neymar, but wide.
Another chance, another miss. It's almost like there's no urgency. Messi's feeling the same thing. Like, come on, guys. Let's just, be incisive. Let's take the opportunities. We've got to get this extra goal, and we're having enough chances to do it. Even here, Neymar. I thought he could have gone down the left. There was more space. He wants to come into his right foot the whole time.
And a card. Maybe muttering a bit. Messi.
Yeah, it took a bit of a whack there when he was tackled.
That means he will be out the next match. Coming back from international play. Maybe a little vacation with the family.
You're not suggesting that he's making this up, are you? This little
never
injury
happens, and you know that as a professional, Gary. Here comes Iniesta, plays it square, pops up. Messi, Caroline-like, headed back by Montoya. Well tucked by Enzo Perez, but fooling around with it a bit too much. Soler, shoulder to shoulder, says the ref, as he knocks Busquets off the ball. And a chance here again. 4 minutes left. Zaza sliding in, trying to weave his way through that back line.
That's a tired Valencia. Dani Parejo breathing heavily there. It's a difficult situation to play Barca and to play them on the home ground and to play the entire second half with 10 men. They've done so well, Valencia, but as much as they're willing themselves to go forward and get that equalizer, they're also hanging on to the last bit of energy they've got. So it's a management phase of the game for them. Conserve the energy, and when you get that one chance to counter-attack, then you give as much as you can.
Let's see what Bakali can do. He's got 1 goal so far in his 15 appearances. Fresh legs for the tiring Cancela. Here's Neymar. In the box, Suarez. Would have been a harsh call as Garay just seemed to back away. Bakali dribbling around his own area. Garay just wanted to get it out of danger. I was going to say well-timed decision by Luis Enrique. He already had made his mind up. He was leaving. But the announcement seems to have cleared the air. And Barcelona playing without a care.
I think two things happened after the PSG thumping.
Messi, edge of the area, cutting right. Abdenor forcing him back. Suarez, one touch, taken down in the arc, but incidental, says the referee. Messi looking on in disbelief. Zaza moves it back for Soler. Yaya out wide. Barca back defensively. Taking longer and longer for Valencia to get the bodies forward. Here might be one with the new player out wide, Bakali. Drives it to the edge of the 6. Ike. And then cleared wide for Neymar.
Just saying there were two things that happened after that PSG defeat. One there that Luis Enrique switched to a 3-4-3 as he gets away here, and the other was missing his resignation.
Neymar into the area, plays it square.
There we go.
Tucked home. The capper for Andre Gomes, and Barcelona puts this one to bed.
At last, 88th minute, and Barcelona fans can eventually just relax and go, we're there. We've got the 3 points in the bag.
His first goal for Barcelona, and it's more a sense of relief than celebration.
Yeah, tough for Voro. His team have been brilliant. 10 men all second half. They've worked their socks off. They've counter-attacked in style. But we said they were tiring, and that was a very lazy tackle or a tired tackle at Neymar. Neymar just picks his spot, and eventually the goal comes. I mean, they've had tons of chances, Barcelona. They've been very relaxed about it, and they've got the breakthrough. They've given their fans a bit of a heart attack today, I think.
Gomes, who was one of the stars for this side last year, sticks the dagger in. So just as Munir did against the team that has loaned him out, Gomes does against the team that sold him on. And again, his apologies almost to the crowd. On ball for Zaza. Mascherano throws a roadblock in and gives us a chance to talk a little bit about Samuel Umtiti, now that it looks as though this one will be going in the win column. Umtiti brought over from Olympique Lyon, as we invite you to watch it again on Facebook.com. Messi's still on for a hat trick if he can find another goal. Trickles back to Alves. Umtiti has played 17 games for Barcelona this season, Gary. And do you know what the record is when Samuel Umtiti is out on the field?
I guess it's going to be pretty good by the sounds of your voice.
Now, if they can find a way to hold on for another minute 40, 17-0.
Wow.
Do you know what the record is, or how many wins Barcelona has in the 11 matches he hasn't played?
Again, I'm guessing not too good without him.
Just 2 wins.
Just 2. Well, you've got to be the first name you put down then if you're Luis Enrique, surely.
Well, he didn't against Deportivo, and it cost them.
Paid the price. Yep. He's quick and he's big in the air. And against Deportivo, they put free kicks on little Jordi Alba, and they got a lot of joy out of that. And I think that's maybe in the summer, whoever's going to be coach of Barca wants to get big, quick defenders. That's what the game requires these days. And, of course, to be able to play up from the back because you're at Barcelona. Especially if they're going to be throwing this 3-back system. You need more depth. Titi. Iniesta. Nipping at his heels. Soler, how close it was. Valencia still plenty to be proud about, but there's still also a bunch to work on because Barcelona did give them the opportunity. Messi, Neymar, decked by Montoya, but he does find Messi, who's stripped. Neymar pleading for some protection. Bakali dribbles back to the middle. Referee had been playing advantage. See if there's any paperwork at the end. Long ball forward, flying up is Montoya, but Piqué gets there first. Yeah, just seeing the game out now, Barcelona. Job done. That will do it. That's impressive. Luis Enrique will be happy with the 3 points, and he'll say, guys, we made hard work of what should have been a slightly easier match, but I think that's taking away credit from Valencia. They were absolutely superb today. 4-2 the final. Valencia taking the lead and then fighting back to tie until Messi and Gomes put it away. Messi with his 25th goal as Barca wins 4-2. Well, Barcelona 3 points in pocket, but it took Lionel Messi to stitch those 3 points in. Yeah, good finish there from Messi. The penalty was courtesy of Luis Suarez, so for me he would have been my man of the match, causing problems in that defense all the time from the very beginning, but either of them will do. So with this result, Barca back within 2 points of Real Madrid atop the table. And for Valencia, what might have been. Barca 4, Los Che 2.